So part of my modification will be removing this beam and moving it higher to match the ceiling. I also will be removing this piece right here to get rid of this curb and make it a flat wall instead. First, I cut the drywall on each side all the way to the top and used the knife to cut the top. I also got rid of this drywall on the sides and removed this crossbeam. Then I cut the top off with my little saw and removed the drywall piece. I originally wanted to move my ceiling up, but after seeing this, I figured it would be too much work. Next, I cut this 2x6 beam in half with a jigsaw, then used an oscillating tool at the end and got rid of this piece. And here's what it looks like. This is the area where I'll make my notch, and here's how it looks like. Next, I got rid of all the nails and all the screws. For some reason, I had both. If you want more details on how to install durock, you can check out the video in the cards or in the description below. But basically, I cut the pieces that I need with a tile cutter. Then I placed it in the spot where I needed to install it. I drilled it in place, and I'll have the screws that I used in the description below as well. Make sure to remove the stickers after the boards are installed. Before installing the cement board onto my notch, I need to remove the ceramic tile holders on the opposite side. The way I did this is I took the drywall saw and sawed off the grout around it. This will make sure you're not damaging the front end of the drywall. Then on the back side, I got lucky and had this piece I could reuse for the drywall patch. I then used the flathead screwdriver and chiseled my way around to remove the cement that was holding the ceramic tile holder until I was able to remove it by hand. Cheese! Next, I placed the drywall piece back in place, and here's what it looks like from the front. Then I installed the bottom piece in the notch and the top and began to screw it down. Basically, my sides are holding the back piece in place, kind of like a wedge. Then I secured the side pieces on the entry and a piece on top. And finally, here's what it looks like so far. Here's how the notch turned out. Next, I took this mesh tape and started to tape all the seams with the mesh. It helps if you use a sharp blade when cutting the mesh. Doing the corners can be a little bit tricky, but also necessary to do. The key is to take your time and slowly press down as you move down into the corner. Go through every seam and every corner, including the notch. Next, I took this gray cement, poured water in the bucket, poured the cement, and began to mix it. Mix it until it looks kind of like a paste, like this. Then use a margin trowel and a small amount of cement on the tile trowel. Next, start spreading it on the durock seams. Try to smooth it out so you can have a nice even surface since you will be tiling this wall in the future. Go through all the seams and even the corners with the cement and fill in the gaps, including the screw holes. And here's how I did the notch. Just take your time with it and go around all the inside and outside corners. After the seams dry a bit, here's what it looks like. Take a margin trowel and scrape off that might be sticking out. Again, go through all the seams and make sure everything is nice and even. Next, I used Aqua Defense by Mapei for waterproofing and started to paint all the walls with this stuff. I had some left over from my guest bathroom remodel, which you can check out in the links below, and for some reason that version was a lot darker green color than this new one that I got at Lowe's. And here's what it looks like. Day 5 completed. Subscribe for more.